Hello, everyone. How are you?
He's being animated.
I'm very animated. Yes. It's so clever. You sound like the Joker. Are you the new Joker? Are you the Joker Klingon? Oh,
Bachman.
that's good.
You got this. Animated. And there's me screaming in the live. Oh dear. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. I'm too zoomed in for the. Works for one format, doesn't work for the other format. 1 second, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at 143%. That's much more than I normally am.
Hello, everyone. Glad you're here. Glad you can make it.
Fifth live in a row, sixth live in a row.
Third.
And then but with our separate ones as well. I mean.
Oh yeah.
A lot of fun content for the Trekyards audience. We hope you enjoy.
Look who just commented, right underneath Jeff Jacobs. Cassie Foley. Hi, Cassie.
So she skips hundreds of lives, but comes in as animated show. She likes cartoons.
That's because she's bored today. She's upstairs. That's my daughter, everybody. Cassie in the chat.
Well, why don't you invite her to see what she thinks animation style? Because that's genuinely a non-Trek fan perspective.
Well, we'll invite her here because she's probably watching. Hi, Cassie. If you want to come downstairs and tell us what you think about this animation style real quick, that'd be awesome.
Because that would be...
If not, that's understandable. And I forgot to move my camera back to the way it's supposed to be.
Quick and easy and fine. But I'd like to see what you think. The unbiased person. Although I'm sure you've osmosisized enough Trek.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, I like that animation style. No, you don't. It's awful. It's awful, Daddy.
That's my girl. You will get
that.
You will get food today. Hi guys.
Sounds like she might have actually got in the shower by the sounds of it. So who knows? But anyway, I'll message her on the phone and see if she wants to come down.
Okay.
Anyway, yes. Welcome, guys. We're going to be talking about Lower Decks, which I have lower expectations for.
There's also caveats to this, isn't there?
Many.
It's funny. There was an animated series that was a potential one. Is it called Star Trek Infinity or something along those lines? Where it was pitched to the studio. They had lots of concept art. They had a ship. It looked really weird, and it was going to be like another galaxy. And the uniforms were really strange. And I thought. I think it was in the very, very late 90s or the very early 2000s, so it was still while one of the shows was on. I remember thinking, geez, I'm glad I didn't get through, because that would really dilute the art design and who's doing what and the stories, and it's like, TNG is so consistent.
That the one with was that the one with the Square Enterprise? That had like a square saucer section kind of thing? Yeah, we got our first super chat.
Oh, yeah.
Dale Stafford puts in $2. All the hard work this week has been amazing. Thanks. Well, thank you guys for showing up and enjoying the great work. Jeff Jacobs puts in $3 just for Cap's daughter representing. Yay, Cass. Yeah.
Actually, I want to show this as well because it's interesting to see what different companies, obviously, but what is the animated series of TOS was very much the animated TOS. There's limited stuff you could do. They did make changes like to the turbolifters and stuff. There was still changes, but what do you go when you don't have the realm of practical filming? You don't have the same art team. We don't have whatever. How far? How weird can you go? And let me just bring these images up. And I'm sorry, Stuart, you'll be a few seconds behind. But yes, you're right. It's a Square Enterprise, or at least a Square. I think it was an Enterprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Let me do some scale. So here's the. Although it doesn't quite match the art design of the other stuff, but there's the Enterprise, and again, who thought that was a good idea? I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Well, yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
And then you've got the uniform, which beyond the fact that it's got the color and the delta, it could be any 90s TV show costume with red stuck on. That uniform slightly better, but again, it's like it's pushing the boundaries in this like weird way of I mean, could be anything. He's got a gun holster as well, which feels a bit antithetical. And then the sort of work-bee fighter, again, doesn't feel particularly good. Just kind of looks like a corrupted, you know, the fighter from Battlefront 5. So none of these ideas I would call particularly. I mean, this uniform's okay, but it's too animaty. It's too. You know, I wouldn't call any of these. And this is not lower decks because I'm just reiterating. There was a previous, you know, and it was called the Star Trek Final Frontier, 2006. So during Enterprise, and it had been set in the year 2528, and centered around the latest crew of the such Enterprise in a darker future. It's just interesting to see where other people have taken animated. And I was glad to see those things didn't happen.
Yeah.
But now we have
I
this.
still don't see it. I still don't see it on the feed, but that's okay.
Oh, it must be a long time behind. And also, let me try and up the bit rate because I'd lower that. Oh.
I don't know if you had it in the display window because it doesn't look like it's.
Oh bollocks! No, I was on thumbnail. God damn it!
Yeah.
1 second. Here's the damn
Jacobs
shit.
puts in $2. Oh yeah, and hit like. Hashtag make Jeff pay. Hashtag cast like Spike. Yes, indeed.
Thanks.
Maybe she'll come and join us.
Thanks, Stuart. You're a real pal. Here's the ship. Who thought that was a good idea? Look, here's the uniform. That looks like the generic 90s, but with red and a delta. Look, here's a uniform. Looks okay, but it's too cartoony. Oh, he has a holster. That does not look great. And oh, there's a fighter. Looks like the Star Fury, but not as good.
Yeah, and we just want to point out that these are not from Lower Decks, guys. This is from a proposed animated series during the course of Enterprise. Yeah. The animation style is better. I will say that.
Well, it's more stylized. It's more sharply 90s, even though it's 2000s. Feels like a late...
looks good. It looks good. I think Lower Decks is more 90s style animation. I'm going to just start off by saying right off the hop, I hate the animation style. I was very disappointed when I saw this. I'm just not looking forward to this show.
So, yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of Rick and Morty per se because I can't get by the first couple episodes with all the burping and whining and crying and
Then you're not sophisticated, Stuart.
I know, I'm not sophisticated.
I mean, surely though, I mean, I know a lot of people feel if there's a zeitgeist about something, they actively avoid it because they don't want to be part of it. But have you just avoided it? Like, do you not think that the fact that it's had incredibly high rave reviews, that there's something there? Do you think it's not worth finishing it, at least? It's only got
I'm
20
sure
episodes.
It is. All my friends rave about it, how good it is, and that I'd really like it. And I'm not one for jumping on bandwagons. That's why I still have not yet watched Game of Thrones. I will eventually.
Yeah.
Now it's all finished. So Rick and Morty, same thing. I'll probably end up watching it eventually. But yeah, and just the fact that the same writers are involved with this.
Well, yeah, and it's worth clarifying that because obviously when you jump to Rick and Morty is the concept and brainchild of one guy who both voices Rick and Morty, who also helps pen a lot of storylines. So when you think of Rick and Morty, you think of that genius who's also where all the creative Zaz comes from. It's still a team of writers, but he's the one that is the genesis of it all. So this show has one of the writers from season 1. So one of the writers of season 1 of Rick and Morty, which is its most grounded, but also it's not its necessarily best season. So part of the team, but it's like saying, and this is one of those ones that Kathleen Kennedy, who took over the Star Wars franchise. They said, producer of Jurassic Park. That was one of her, she's one of the producers of Jurassic Park. And it's like, but was she one of the active ones? Did she actually contribute anything? I mean, just because you're in a successful movie doesn't mean you actually did anything to help that successful movie. So just because you wrote 2 episodes of one show doesn't mean you're, you know what I mean? We were kind of excited by the idea of it being the guy, but it's not. And I will say this certainly has a Rick and Morty-esque, in a similar vein of not comedic but hyper. It's like everything's pushed to a certain extreme of this isn't real and this is weird, so that it's not. I mean, it's recognizably what it is, but what it is feels very similar to lots of other what it is shows, and this could be a Rick and Morty spin-off. Rick and Morty spoof episode.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to watch it as part of our review process and stuff. And I'm sure if it's written cleverly, I will grow to like it. But I just can't stand this animation style. I wish they picked something better, like what we just saw for the Final Frontier concepts. I kind of like that a lot better. Much more like Batman the Animated Series, that
That's what
kind
I
of look.
was. Yeah, that's why I say
Yeah,
the very 90s, because that's the sort of, you saw that crisp, darker lines a lot of the time in the 90s, whereas this looks more comic 2000s to me. More like a Family
yeah,
Guy,
yeah,
more like a. That's what I was meaning. They went for,
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so
And then of course,
are there any hard lines? I mean, it's all kind of.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And of course, I obviously like the '80s style, like GI Joe, um, Masters of the Universe, stuff like that. Very realistic looking. Even did some mocap and stuff for even well, because the same Filmation did He-Man as well as the animated Star Trek. So it had the same kind of animation style, which was a cheap style that they made work really well. They did some mocap as well for it, so it was quite an interesting style. And I like those a lot better, more
Well,
realism.
I mean, let's go. Let's talk about the animated series for a moment. I've got a still up. That was the only actual animated Star Trek. Then compare and contrast. I mean, first of all, simple yes or no. Do you like that animation style?
Which one?
Star Trek the animated series.
Yeah, yeah, the Filmation stuff I don't mind at all.
Okay, so that beats out this 20, 30, 40 years more advanced style. So can you try
Yeah.
and quantify to the audience why one that, a new fan would say probably that looks cheap, old, god awful. In that context, obviously, why would you pick that over this? What I share is what I'm kind of getting at. Why do you see one better as over the other? Like I say, why I share.
One looks more realistic and looks like, because the animated series was, it was based off actual characters that we saw live action of. So I feel like that's something that's more enjoyable to me, especially if it's more of an adult oriented kind of show. For the Nickelodeon one, I expected exactly what we're seeing here. This is what I expected to see for the Nickelodeon more kid-focused Star Trek animations show that they're going to be bringing out. I did not expect that for this. If it's Star Trek, if it's something I want to get invested in, I really have to enjoy how it looks. And I right off the hop, I have a bad taste in my mouth about this just because of the animation style. It's just I'm not looking forward to watching it. Like I said, if the writing is fantastic, if it's actually really good, it may change my mind. But it's going to have to really be good for it to change my mind right off the start. The animated series, I do like the Filmation style just because of its realism and the fact that they did early mocap and stuff. So a lot of the movements were pretty fluid in a lot of times, and the stories were fantastically written for that series. It was done by DC Fontana and other writers that worked on TOS. So very great storytelling, and it was essentially a kids show that wasn't aimed at kids. It was a cartoon, so everybody automatically assumes it's a kids show, but it was so well written, a lot of really great storylines that kids probably didn't understand at the time. This one, I mean, animation's more prevalent these days. Like you said, you mentioned Family Guy and stuff like that, and those animation styles for what they are, I don't mind. But when you mix that with Star Trek, to me, I'm just immediately just not in it, you know. So that's just my thoughts on it. I don't. I'm not looking forward to this animation style. That's all. It just looks silly. I saw too many crap cartoons in the '90s and 2000s that were just that they all kind of went this way, and no real emphasis was given to storylines in any of these shows. It was all basically just keeping kids entertained for a couple hours in front of a TV. It was designed to be a babysitter, so there was no thought put in anything. So I got that kind of animation style makes me think of just piss poor plots and stupid stories.
Also just to sell toys. Rick and Morty didn't sell toys; it's to sell an idea and a concept.
Well,
I mean,
you say that to sell toys, but that started in the '80s with Transformers and GI Joe.
Yeah.
That's exactly what those were doing. But those were also well thought out stories. and sometimes not so much, but it kind of ushered in that age of using a cartoon to sell toys, and I think they did it way better than the later 2000s. So,
and they're having a whole people having a conversation briefly about the Countdown comics being canon, and therefore data, and people trying to clarify that they're canon to the JJ stuff, not canon to Prime stuff. There is a distinction there between Paramount saying they're canon to the JJ films versus CBS saying they're canon to the Prime timeline. If CBS says canon to the Prime timeline, then that makes Data Captain, you've basically just removed all those possible plot points because that's now what happens. But CBS has not said it's canon. JJ said it was canon at 09. He said he chose it's canon to his movie, but he only has the rights to say that to his movie. So it's not canon to Prime unless they now fully canonize it, but they don't necessarily want to do that because then you're putting all these things like, I think it does say what happened to Data and what happened to Geordie, all these things that they don't have any room to wiggle. And like then rather all different things, so no, it's not there's different canons.
And Renash, I understand that style does not automatically mean childish, but that's what I get from it, because a lot of the shit that I've seen that's animated like this is just that shit, and I'm just not impressed.
Well, I said this to a friend of mine the other week, and this is the thing I heard on YouTube as we all watch YouTube. Making a actual kids movie, if you make it for children, specifically for children, then you're not adding in layers for adults. So, says a film or a TV show comes to the cinema, comes on the TV. The children watch it, they like it for the mindless. The parents don't because there's nothing for them. When the kids grow up, they have the base memories, they go back and watch it, there's nothing for them, there's nothing else. People consider Disney movies, the original Disney movies, kids' films, and yet there's lots of adult themes. Kids enjoy the simple stories and what's going on and the bright colours, and adults watch them and enjoy them for different reasons. They're kids' movies made for adults in adult ways, but with a good mind for both. There's a show called Teletubbies in the UK, which is as it sounds, it's just kids.
Well, yeah, I've seen Teletubbies.
And obviously, it's not rewatchable as an adult. Like, there's nothing else there. So the best kind of cartoons are, it's a Batman cartoon. I love Batman. And then you watch it back when you're 30 and think, fuck, he is killing people. Oh my god, this is about his drug addiction, and he's got painkillers, and that isn't white chalk. That's cocaine he's snorting to deal with the pain of loss of his mum. But guess what? One is an Emmy, one is a quality product. One is a kids show that no one gives a care about 10 years later. So, the style. I mean, Family Guy is a basic animation style, really. Or the best example, South Park. South Park season 1, basic as anything, incredibly intricate. Obviously, there's a tremendous style. It looks like it's drawn and was cut out. That's a great example of how simple can be better. That's what I thought. This style I think is very very Family Guy, but in the way of Rick and Morty. It's kind of like, this guy is big, even though this guy on the screen, Lieutenant Shax, looks way too big to be a Starfleet officer to me.
Look, here's Cassie.
Hi, Cassie.
Hello, how are you?
I can't hear you, Samuel. So
okay, Cassie. So you're here to review this animation style for our wonderful audience. You got 193 people watching. Here's our expert, Cassie Opea. What do you think of the animation style? Your full review. Stuart, get out of the way. Tell Stuart to go away.
Samuel says go away.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's weird.
Watch on your phone,
talking
Stuart.
about this one?
I don't know, what was he got on the screen? Should we picture 4 people?
Yeah, I like it.
Well, give us any reason why.
Well, I like it, but I don't think it's good for adults. I think it's just good for kids.
Why?
Because it looks like it's just going to be there to, entertain.
Okay, have you seen Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
Is the same-ish people doing it? Does that change
So
your
is it
opinion?
going to be, serious?
Yeah,
or
it's an adult
is it going
film.
to be,
An
more...
adult show, yeah. This is not the kids' show. They've got a kids' show. This is not the kids' show.
I don't know. I think it would be, weird. Because if it's for adults and it's serious, but it looks like Rick and Morty, I just, associate that with not being serious and having it all funny and jokes.
Well, we don't know if it's going to be necessarily jokey, but it's about these, Think of like the janitor on a ship that no one cares about. It's about him.
Oh.
So it's kind of like the guy, but I guess fun in that. I don't know. Would you watch it? Oh.
I dropped it.
I don't know. Would you watch it? Does it look interesting to you?
No, I wouldn't watch it.
Okay. But you are forced to watch normal Star Trek, and you're okay with that. But this is a whole level of nah.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
So do you want to take super chat questions while you're here?
What's that?
It means people can donate to ask you a question.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Okay, Cassie will be here for a couple of minutes, guys. New person panelist. So ask questions now for super chat. Can you see that? Can you see the? Wait, ask Stuart to show you where the super chat is, and then you can read out the first one.
I don't know where to find these. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Ask Stuart. Yeah.
What are we looking for?
I don't know. Super chat.
Yeah.
Question.
I'll read out a super chat.
Which one am I supposed to read?
The blue one. The green one. Sorry.
The blue one.
The Price is
one?
Right review.
Okay. K-Plow, love your content. My biggest question for ST Picard. Will we see the Enterprise E again under a new captain or at least a cameo appearance?
What do you think, Cassie? You answer too.
I have no idea what any of that
Make stuff
means.
up, it's what we do.
I mean...
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I don't know what to say.
I think she's saying she knows and it's a secret. So,
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
NDA, guys. Any NDAs?
Bye, everybody.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. All right. So what's going on? Did we miss some super chats?
Just one. I think there was a lot of like just lag on this things. I don't actually saw it until like halfway through.
Oh, okay.
We're all good. That was fun.
All right. So you got Eugene's super chat.
No. I didn't even see that one. To be fair.
All right. Well, I'll take over with the super chat.
Yes. And to be fair,
right,
you should also answer the questions. Let's just do all the super chats.
All right. Eugene puts in 1,500 rubles.
Hi, Gene.
And says, third stream this week. Lower Deck first look is also a surprise for me.
Yeah.
I guess local media hadn't give a damn about anything except Picard series. Graphics are generic 2010 plus stuff. Yes. Yeah, I guess saying it was 90s is pushing back a little too far when I say that. You are right with that. Yeah, so I agree with you there. Are you leaving?
Yeah, I'm gonna go do it.
Okay, bye.
Say thanks and bye, Cassie.
Thank you, Cassie. Everybody says bye.
Just me, not them.
Just Samuel. Nobody else cares.
You said it's such an asshole saying that.
I know that's so rude. I know that's so rude.
It's a nice way. You said it in such an asshole way. God.
190 people here. I just want to remind you guys to hit like, and don't forget to hit subscribe and notify. Very important.
Yes.
All right, so we're moving on to the Price is Right review. It's $5. Kapla, love your content. My biggest question for Star Trek Picard: will we see the Enterprise E again under the new captain, or at least a cameo appearance? I'm guessing no, as we've talked about in our previous live about that. If anything, it'll be on a picture in the when he goes to visit the Admiral or something. I think we'll see something like that, but that's it.
Or like there'll be a miniature of it, a gold miniature on the wall of the office building, and he'll walk up to it and be like, and then get called in. It'll be there visually, but it won't be there as a ship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Jeff Jacobs puts in $5. Anytime we get anyone from the captain's family, we are all happy. Welcome, Cass. I will go again if I get the Admiral and Cap and Cass all together. Oh my God, that probably won't happen. Sylvia needs to go do a few things after work, so she's not going to be home probably until this is over. And Cassie's getting her makeup on. She's getting ready to go out, so we probably will never see her again. You saw her makeupless, which was, something you don't get to see very often these days. But anyway, back to the animation style. I think it's shit. There you go.
I mean, that's the thing. I know when I look at Rick and Morty, I think the animation style is actually really good in Rick and Morty. I think it's very, very detailed, and it's got a fun sort of flat style where nothing's too detailed, but everything has a good level of detail. There's no like that's just a tree. Everything's got like a consistent level of detail, and you can tell that when they think of like Easter egg stuff, everything in the garage actually is something, if they haven't used it yet. I mean, let me bring a picture of Rick and Morty, because I want to. Again, this is interesting because I feel like we're judging it on. I want to look at the uniforms and stuff as well, but we're judging it all on the style. But as soon as you 2 episodes into a show, or whatever, you're not going to think, oh, the animation. You're going to say, well, what's the story? What am I looking at?
Exactly.
Okay, this
I'm
is.
I'm just saying, initial reaction for me is not interested.
I think we have, and back me up if you think I'm right here. I think when Kurtzman was trying to expand this thing, which is now months ago, Discovery was doing okay but not amazing. The season 2 hadn't come out yet. They didn't know if that was even going to do anything. So I bet they got a relatively cheap production house. They said, what do you want? And they were like, well, what's your second lowest, cheapest tier animation style? Because we want to be able to make one season. They confirmed 22 episodes. It's a full season of TV. Awesome. 22 episodes. Make it just cheap, and we'll hire a decent cast, and just it'll be good stories, and then if it's cheap, we'll make more returns on it. I think that's what they went for. So a very cost-effective, cheaper style on purpose. What do you think?
I don't know about that necessarily. This is just the more modern way that people are used to doing animation. I don't think it's you can do that like a tier system where I have an idea for a show, pick a tier system for how cheap the animation looks.
I mean, they pick a VFX house that can do it in a budget point, their style, and their style is a cheaper style. Is all I mean. Because so this is a direct comparison with Rick and Morty. And actually, ironically, Rick and Morty is more stylized. It looks to me with
slightly.
Morty's head being obviously a circle and Rick's being an oval. There's actually less detail, but it feels better somehow. I don't know. Sometimes a lack of detail can give you more. Oh, I don't know how I feel about that now. I'm showing you it.
That's a weird thing. Yeah, Rick and Morty, the animation looks rich and vibrant. This one, I think, because of all the backgrounds.
Well, I've got a picture for that though. I've got a good comparison then. And again, I've got lots of graphics here, so bear with me as I swap things around. Oh, I want to swap with that one. Okay. So now we've got an image and a cast member, and now she's in a much more bright world. See, that I do like more, but again, it looks like it's a children-y or like a teen, informal cartoon. Hey kids, I'm Captain Didda of the Didda, and today we're going to learn about flight safety. Is that kind of like, does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
Trying and failing.
Just doing it poorly. I'm Captain Didda of the USS Didda.
I don't have names. I don't know.
I know, that was good. Yeah, I don't know. I know I need to watch Rick and Morty. Shut up, guys. I get it.
Rick and Morty's not a good comparison. Well, it's done by the same people. I think it's a very good comparison. And because Rick and Morty shows that you can make a, lowish end cartoon incredibly successful with writing. So I think it's a tremendously good, whereas look at Star Wars Resistance, all 3D. I mean, people didn't like that style either, but it was really, time and money to do it.
Juan Cholo says, "Holy carp, the Orion has a mental illness haircut. I'm out." Well, that's incredibly rude because a good friend of ours has pretty much the exact same hairstyle. So, wow.
Speaking of rude, non-super chatting. How rude. Do ask us questions, ask us thoughts. 200 people, and we do rely on a certain amount of support in these chats. So do help us if you can.
Yes, and don't forget the links down below, Patreon and all that. And if you want to do PayPal as well, you can do that to help out the channel. So, and also like, subscribe. With 207 of you here, make sure you're all subscribed.
Yes.
I'm sure. I was hoping that we're going to get a reveal of the ship for this thing.
Yes.
We didn't. That could possibly happen at Vegas. So if that gets revealed or something like that while we're there, we will definitely be reporting on that. So if you want to make sure you don't miss any of those things, hit subscribe and hit notify, please.
Yeah, we don't know what is going to be revealed at Vegas, and we don't know how much we can report. But we want to get the news out to you when we can, as soon as we can. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean Resistance, Rebels. People liked Rebels. Resistance is the fighter people one. Rebels is the CG one that people liked enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, like a cartoon TNG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I kind of like the
I think
double
that's safe to say.
lines. And then you suddenly cut to the first picture, which is Ensign Jack Quaid, and there's Jack Quaid, because these names mean nothing to me, so I thought I'd actually show the people in case you guys know who Jack Quaid is. As Ensign Bulmer, and first purple hair.
Yeah.
The uniform though, Stuart. Now, I read one article that said it is in the TNG era, but that's one article I watched the entire panel, I read all the main articles, didn't see that, so I'm going to call that not right. Also, because the uniform is not TNG. What's your take on this then? Because the uniform is not a uniform we've seen before.
I think this is probably set more in the Picard era. I know we've seen the uniforms in the Picard trailer, but this seems more like falling in line almost with Star Trek Online kind of look, a little bit. So it's kind of hard to say. It's probably just going to be TNG, and the uniforms are just whatever they, nobody's going to notice that. Nobody will talk about that. It's a new style.
Well, that's why I'm wondering. They're not TNG. They're not any uniform so far, and it'd be weird if they did another era, like 30 years past Picard or whatever. They've started putting themselves into corners of when they can do things, because if this is a show that takes place, 7 years after Nemesis, I don't buy these uniforms as 7 years after Nemesis, really.
Matthew DeFreitas says it happens right after Nemesis. They say it in the panel, so there you go. It's right after Nemesis. Between Nemesis and Picard.
I didn't actually watch the panel yet. I watched a bit of it. We then filmed. Okay, right after Nemesis, and they had these uniforms.
Well, before we continue that discussion, we got some more super chats. So,
excellent. Thank you.
Good Tea Nice House puts in $5 Canadian.
Thank you.
I'm going to be open-minded with this series. The first thing I did was count the fingers in the animation to make sure they had 5 and not 4. LOL. Yes, they indeed do have 5. That is a very important thing. That being said, The Simpsons they don't, and it's fine, I guess. I would have been really mad if it was Simpsons styled animation, but. And we also got Area 51 puts in $5. Whoever draws the cartoon versions of you and the Commander, would you prefer they did Lower Decks? Yes, that would be Sean Taranjo who did those avatars of us. And yeah, that style for animation, I would be totally on board for. That looks very cool.
Although honestly, now I want myself drawn in this style, to be honest. Although I think I'd look very much like this guy, unfortunately, with just a curly front.
That's the thing with the Simpsons animation and stuff. When you get yourself Simpsonized or whatever, they all look alike to me. Like, there's very few differentiations.
So if this is meant to be, I think it's tricky to make it actual canon. Although it'd be silly not to, because then they can throw in hints and references and stuff to Picard, and they could basically earn themselves a free prequel to Picard.
It'd be cool if one of the characters actually walks by, like in one of the live action shows.
Yeah.
But the live action version, it's like.
Well, that's the thing. And you said this in a filming session today that we'll release later this week. It's the Star Trek universe. So if they made the cinematic universe where actually they think, well, these will all be connected. I mean, it would have been great if more people in DS9 turned up in TNG and la la. That was always kind of fun when they did. I don't really see this as an evolution from Nemesis. I did say to you in previous videos that I can buy post-war. They want to go back to a more bright style. Although I think the com badge is a mistake. They should have used a Nemesis era one, because it'd just be a Delta. Makes it feel like JJ or Discovery. And these are still maybe work in progress, maybe. But I don't see why you would remove all of the Delta detail from the TNG/Voyager com badge back into the era, make it silver. That seems, again, that's the problem with animated. I mean, just like TOS animated, there were scuba shuttles, which is ridiculous. It's fun for that, but it's not
Aqua Shuttle.
Thank you. I mean, it's not canon. We're not taking it seriously. But you know what I mean. So it's tricky with this sort of stuff, because if this is now the next uniform, that takes a lot of baggage with it.
And we can't put that you can't have those expectations for this show. This has nothing to do with how a live action show in the same era would look. This is just a side thing. I don't think it's going to be considered canon.
Well,
I don't think it's going to.
Well, that's the question. If it is or isn't. I mean, it's Alex Kurtzman trying to do it all together, so I would assume he'd want to. Otherwise, what's the point in making? Then it's just another universe, isn't it? You've got Prime, you've got Discovery, you've got JJ, you've got this one. But then they haven't said that. They've specifically not said that. So I don't see that as being... I mean, it'd be fun if in the first episode they all start out with Nemesis uniforms, and then part of the... the first episode is about, well, the war sucks. We've got the new uniform patterns, and boom, they're in these. There's stuff you could do. And in terms of... Ironically, though, if you look at the soft reset button from Nemesis...
Can you fix my box? Because I shifted my camera.
Oh yeah, and Cassie was here and stuff. Yeah, I shifted everything, but sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Sorry.
That's why I'm looking at visuals. You don't look at this, what we look at. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Like I say, if they did say, okay, war. We all hated war. We all swapped out of war. Let's go to nice colours again, because pre-war. Then this would be the first gen, which looks like TNG again, and then Picard has back to Voyager. So it goes back to a second evolution of the same pattern. That I wouldn't mind. Patterns. They had to do. They just wanted the same pattern over 45 years. Just that'd be interesting then. But let me find something, because this is. Yeah, you talk to people and read super chats, so I find something that could be interesting. They pull this from that.
Talk to the people and there are no super chats, but yeah. So I don't think we should be. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how it starts. Yes, if they do have the old uniforms, that'd be kind of cool. And if it's going to be more comedy oriented, they can definitely do a lot that way. Maybe the replicator is always malfunctioning, and this is the best uniform they can get, or something. It's kind of a mix of a few different uniforms, or something silly. But yeah, I don't think we should be holding this. Like, oh, this is the next evolution of uniform design in universe, until we see a few episodes, find out where it fits, how it fits, if it fits.
Oh yeah. Well. No, I'm just saying we got to have these conversations now, because we're trying to analyze it, and we are Trekyards. So this is a piece that I didn't see until several years into Trekyards, and let me know when you see him, Stuart, so I can talk to you in real time about them.
Yes, nothing yet.
And I was right partially about this. So yay. Waiting for the real time. Real time.
Please don't sing. Okay, got it.
Okay, so these are the first iteration of the new uniforms after Generations.
Yes.
Before they chose the First Contact uniforms, they designed them for First Contact, but because of production schedules, they were on Deep Space Nine first, which I think is hilarious. Same with the comm badges, in again a different order of times. So here is the potential, and if you look at the uniform to the dudes for Picard, I mean, it has more similar than it has different.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's probably exactly what they used too. Old concept sketches and stuff. Because that's a definite tie-in there. I would say that's exactly the same. Just with the command, the rank pins are moved, and there's nothing on the sleeves. But besides that,
which is ironic, because the rank pips here would link more to the new Picard style. So we always want them there, because it'd be another step of evolution. Although they don't do it, the collar's a good sign. What did you think of this concept sketch, or I guess both variants?
I think it's great. It's more naval, I think, especially with on the sleeves as well. I don't know if I like that so much. I mean, you don't really need that. It's kind of when you have the pips up here, you don't need them down on your sleeve as well. It's just kind of overkill. But I really like that cut. I think that looks fine, and the black stripe in it, I like that. It's a very sharp looking uniform. So I would have liked to have seen them. Jeff Jacobs puts in 204 and says 104 likes. Yes, again at 150. Hashtag make Jeff pay. 213 of you here. Everybody hit like. Let's get to 150 and make Jeff pay. It's like this game we play during these lives. See how much we can make Jeff pay.
Where everyone wins.
Yeah.
So I like these uniforms in theory. I think they're a nice what if. I think they wouldn't necessarily look as good in person. It's a little impractical to have that strip like that. And as someone said in the chat, it's redundant to have the 2 stripes and pips. That's completely... I think you said that as well. I was trying to do something else.
Yeah,
I do actually prefer the red undershirty thing. I actually kind of prefer that on the top as well to the black accents, whereas the lower decks where it's just the line. But clearly an inspiration. Although, again, if you just look at the uniforms, take a Wrath of Khan style something, you'll instantly have something similar. But I think definitely an inspiration. I think I cracked that code.
Yeah.
So
let's move to the next picture and
yes.
take a look at this guy.
Yes, so that's Jack Quaid as Ensign Bulmer. There you go. Right, Tawny Newson as
Ensign Mariner. Dun dun dun. She's got a Klingon batleth, so she's probably a badass. With her sleeves rolled up, even.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
That's got to be against regulation.
Yes.
Dreamer out there puts in $2. Star Trek Generations action figures are in those uniforms. Yeah, some of them are. Yeah.
First run, yeah.
Or all of them are. Yeah, I don't even know.
I think only the first couple. I'd love one of those. It'd be kind of fun. So I appreciate it's a batleth. It looks like a batleth. It does show a little bit of character. Shows that, if this takes place in this post Nemesis, then they've got everything to pull from. And this is where I think we said it before. Animated lets you bring in any character from any show. I mean, they said this is not an important crew, but why wouldn't you have them just bump into the Titan?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they sound like themselves for the most part. Why not have all these legendary characters in it? I would be surprised if it didn't have at least 1 or 2 cameos, given the fact that any cameo will help springboard the show. And
well, that's what they tend to do for these shows, though, is hand it off by having another character come on at least some point.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
So it should be. I mean, it should be the first episode have Admiral Janeway given a mission. Done.
Or have Picard, whatever his name is from American Dad. I can't think of his name now.
Bullock.
Yeah. Have him come on looking exactly like that, but in a Starfleet uniform. And hey, how's it going? Yeah, I just heading over to got my own show. Bye. Because it's going to be comedy based, right? So that's something I can see happening.
Well, yeah. One of the things you'll notice is that as we have the next picture, they're all ensigns. All the primary 4 ensigns.
That's why it's lower decks, because it's all the lowly ensigns. The episode Lower Decks of TNG was one of my favorite episodes, because you get to see things from their perspective, not knowing exactly what the hell is going on with the upper management, so to speak. So, yeah. So we got Eugene Cordero as Ensign Rutherford, and he's got an interesting head implant thing and a tricorder, which is nice.
And if you wouldn't mind reading Knight's Arms non-super chat in the comment, that'd be great.
Let's see if I can. Animated drawing for Star Trek. Since I discovered you guys recently and haven't seen all your vids before, have you guys done this before? And sorry if it's a dumb question. Done what before? We have focused on the original animated series. Some of the ships. We've interviewed one of the guys responsible for the animation. That's a great interview, by the way. And we've covered some of the ships. So yes, we have covered Star Trek animation before, but yeah, this is new. This is from San Diego Comic-Con. It's an upcoming series. So
yes.
Hope that answers your question.
Yes. Now I do recall hearing in one of the many panels that this guy, he's similarly hurt to LaForge, but he's the sort of guy that didn't get the ocular implant, didn't get the eyes, and was just like, I'll stick with the old school. Hence why he's got a similar thing. I'm not sure what exactly that means. The fact that he's got so much of his head whatevered off, I'm wondering if it's just an eyepiece. That's odd, but it's kind of connecting to his head as if it's actually the over his eye, like there's like a digital eye, like it's
kind of like
screen.
cyborg,
like
cyborg-y kind of thing. Yeah. Hellras 96 puts in $5.
There you go.
Hey fellas, just got home. I'm happy to see the new show post Discovery at least look more like Trek that we know.
It's true.
Yeah, this does have a very TNG feel to it, so that's a great thing. even the background, you can see a lot of the L cars and stuff, same shapes, things we recognize, and that's good.
It's one of the things that if the first season Discovery just had the uniforms that looked appropriate, would have made a massive difference to the art design. You know, that's why we said for a long time. Discovery is so close to being okay in terms of art design. You know, that all they had to do with the Enterprise uniforms was just make the whole uniform one color, and that was it. That was like, oh, cool. You know. So what do you think of the tricorder? Of the tricorder?
Looks kind of more primitive than we saw in Voyager for sure, but yet more advanced, I think, than TNG's. Because TNG's was a little bit clunkier, especially the part that folds out. Yeah. But then again, it's an animation style, so.
Yeah, I think.
I think it looks all right.
The only thing I'm gonna actually say canon is the ship with a ship, and the uniform, because that if that's the level of detail they're going for in the props, I mean, you can't add this to the world. There's nothing there. No. You know, and we've seen the tricorders they're doing. They did a Nemesis, the pads. Although I prefer flip outs. I'm glad they're about to flip out, but already it's a step back in terms of the universe. Yeah.
Well, teasing Gary makes a good point. Are those bunk beds in the corridor? That looks like a long corridor that has just bunk beds along the edge. So it's like again, this is lower decks. This is the ensigns. So they're like all bunking together. They don't have their own quarters. So this is probably like one of the main bunk halls. I don't know what you'd call it. So
yeah,
what kind of ship is it?
Well, it's a crap ship. It's a no one cares ship. And we've seen that on the Excelsior they had many more bunks than this. And so if it's a very small ship with a very big crew, I mean, it would certainly create some different interpersonal chats if you literally live 13 centimeters down from your friend. A very Red Dwarf style, just with more. It would have been, they feel very. I appreciate the art design of this corridor. It's very defiant, like very, very defiant. Yeah.
Well, Philosophy Planet says if you saw the Comic-Con panel for Lower Decks, which I haven't seen yet, unfortunately, they say that the captain and the senior team think the show is about them, but it's actually not. So they're aware that they're in a show. Is that what I'm getting? Is like a fourth wall breaking show?
Well, I think it just means
they think they're all important.
Well, they just think they're the heroes. But I mean to watch that, but I was editing like stuff all day and I forgot because I have to do a lot of edits this week.
Area 51. I was going to say barracks, but that didn't sound right on a ship. Barracks are like I think of as a building, but yeah. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I guess I would call it just bunks, dormitory maybe if you want to go, to some extent. Or just sleeping rooms. So next character, Noel Wells as Ensign Tendai. And my gut says not an Orion.
I disagree. I think she's going to be an Orion. That's going to be part of the gag. Guys are going to be falling over her all the time, and she's just so cliche for her. That's what I think.
I don't know, because I feel like we know that after Enterprise, the men. What? At one point, the men took over and removed the ducts, and they can't do that anymore. I think that was a storyline at some point. It's like, follow my own logic. Why invent a new race when you can use an old one? Use an Orion if you can. But that comes with certain baggage. Although I guess it would be fun to say we've never addressed are there Orions in Starfleet, and yes, there are. That'd be cool. I mean, I don't know, but based on the haircut and stuff, it's kind of like feels like a non-Orion vibe. But again, it's just a human person who's painted green. It's kind of, it's hard to tell without some of the more defining features of lack of clothing and intent to seduce and or harm. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, and I gotta go back to the last picture for a second. Hellrats 96 makes a very good point. Wasn't there a cameraman on the bridge of the Enterprise B with headgear like that?
Yeah.
Because there was the reporter kind of guy, cameraman. Get that camera out of my face, that guy.
Yes, but I do remember the actual panel talking about how, or interview saying what I talked about. So I love that. Although that's like 200 years ago, so bit old tech to use. But yeah, that's a good shout out. So this lady, do you know any of these 4 actors so far? Jack Quaid, Tony Newson, Eugene Cordy or Noah Wells.
Noel Wells. No, I don't know any of them. She looks familiar, vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
But I'm not exactly sure. I haven't bothered to IMDb any of these people yet.
And we'll do that slightly later on as well. Okay, well that's the primary four. And I guess summarize the two: white guy with purple hair, black lady with batleth. I think he's meant to be a Hawaiian guy with augments, and Orion lady. So it's pretty eclectic.
Mm.
And then we cut to the rest of them. The graphics we saw earlier, and there's the four people. So it's top left, Fred Pascari is St. Shax, Dawn Lewis as Captain Freeman, Dawn is the top right, Dawn Lewis as Captain Freeman, Jerry O'Connell as Commander Ransom, and then Gillian Vigman as Dr. Tarana, who's a cat.
Yes, and Jerry O'Connell, of course, I know quite well, and Gillian Vigman. She looks familiar. I'm just trying to place where I know her from. But yeah, this is the command staff, and so. Huh. And the big guy is a Bajoran. He's got a Bajoran earring going.
He is.
That's funny. Oh, wow, this will be interesting.
I do love
they got the cat though. Yeah.
Because there's a specific race in TS that's a cat.
Yeah.
What's the race?
The Cetaceans, I think. I can't. Yeah. Emrys is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I say it, people say I say it wrong, so I just stop saying it.
Fair enough.
Cetaceans. Yeah.
And I also know Jerry O'Connell from Sliders. Many years ago. And Gillian as a character actress who's normally a mean person in sort of shows. That's kind of where I'm vibing. I did vaguely Google IMDb the Fred, the top left, and he's a very big voice actor that's done a ton of stuff. That's kind of his thing. And then if we do the full screen of that picture, then we can talk about what we think of these wonderful people. So yeah, Bajoran was a nice touch, although like I said before, he looks a bit big to me. Normally officers are a bit more like, I know they're trying to be, that's his defining feature. He's the big guy. But it's like, yeah, but I mean, you don't normally see big muscly people in the uniforms where the muscles are breaking the uniforms. It's not really the sort of, body shape that is a standard Federation officer. Not even Worf was like built, was he? And you associate Worf.
Not really, no.
So this, that's just the comic silly. We'd have stubble on the guy, but again, I guess it's his defining feature. He's got very dark stubble. Don't want to see that either. So you got the cat, which is nice of an alien. I'm kind of annoyed a bit by the red and yellow on the boots. That looks stupid to me.
Well, yeah, I agree.
But that's the same as Discovery
even having
the deltas.
Yeah, even having the boots be so visible. I mean, in TNG they went over the top of the boot and they had like a stirrup, so they went under the boot.
Yeah.
So you just saw the tip of the boot.
Yeah.
This is just a new style, which it looks kind of odd, but we'll get used to it pretty quick, probably.
Yeah, it's like you don't need to know division when you're in the stall, and you've got 5 rows of people. You don't have to look underneath the stall and say, "Oh, it's all science in here today. Hi, science guys. Hey, guy," because of the boots. It's like you don't need to know that. At least there's no deltas on the boots.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got the cat lady who's obviously the doctor, it says doctor, but it could be a science doctor as well, wearing Crusher's overcoat. Bit of familiarity there.
Or is she going to cough up any hairballs, if that's going to be her thing? Coughing up hairballs on patients, and maybe have a big litter box in her quarters. It'd be cool to see how they play that, for sure.
Lizzie Smith says, "Nice to see a female captain, I guess." Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, Sorry.
I was just gonna say, well, these all look like good casting choices. I know. You can just tell that the voices are going to be good. I don't know. The quirkiness of the first character, the first ensign, looking all like awkward and weird, and you can just kind of hear the voices when you can see both the animated face and the actor's face. I'm sure the big guy, he probably, because he does a lot of voice animation, voiceovers, he probably has quite a few voices. So But yeah, the other ones I think are pretty much standard their own voice. So
Yeah, well, that's why I was wondering these four. Obviously you got more famous of the people. Instantly, I feel like these are more famous people. Having an alien, having a black lady captain. I'm wondering how much these actually be in the show, because they're not necessarily the primary four, so they're kind of almost they're window dressing.
Yeah.
I mean, we've asked. I mean, that's the irony. That's what Discovery was meant to be pitched as. It's all about the non-main crew, and it's like, I mean, she was always on the bridge, and she basically ran the ship, so it really didn't feel, it didn't work. That was certainly not a low deck situation, so they're really just ignoring that completely. And don't do Discovery season 1. You failed miserably, and then he actually gave us a captain in season 2, and he was great.
Yeah.
But I can imagine it'll be like every week he'll start with Captain. No, well, I guess the girl Captain Stark started da da da, and then it sounds epic, and then every week it'll just fade down through the ship. Epic situation, and then the guy's just on his data pad saying like,
yeah.
Oh, let me pick a name. Hold on, let me finish the bit. Tawny. No wait, Mariner. Yeah. Got to recalibrate the conduits again. Up there, just don't realise that if you go past the safety limit for past warp 9, we've got to recalibrate it every single time.
Yeah.
I know. That sort of shit would be kind of funny.
Well, I just have a feeling it's going to be much like Lower Decks, the TNG episode, where when you see the senior staff, they're talking about this big epic thing, and it's all like, oh, it's going to be epic, and all of a sudden you're never going to get answers. You're never going to get what happened in the situation, because you're not meant to know. You're just Lower Decks guys.
I mean, they survive. That's all you need to know.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, they're on. Yeah, one of the answers is on a date, and the ship's like rocking back and forth because they're in a battle. It's like, oh.
But it'd be funny in that context. So they're at a date, and the ship's being attacked by Klingons, but he's a botanist. So she's like, "Should we do something?" He's like, "Can we just keep having? I mean, the shields are fine. I'm sure. Can we just have lunch still? I mean, on Pop-Tarts. I mean, I can't. I'm not doing. This is not my job. I haven't got anything to do. I mean, if we die, we die. At least we'll die eating steak.
Mm-hmm.
You having a nice time? I mean, yes.
She got a glass of wine.
So it does write itself. Although I'm wondering, I'm sure it'll be a 22, if not 20-minute short show. So on the lower end of short of a half hour.
On the lower deck of short.
Yeah, which would be helpful for the 22 episodes. So it's kind of like they're almost just like an A and a B side stories. I think could work. I mean, any show in the Trek universe could work, honestly, if done well.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if these characters are not going to be just stereotypes. They're going to be interesting people if they're going to have, normally, this looks like, I don't know if you play the Family Guy game where they had the Star Trek expansion.
I did for a while, yeah.
And it was Pete in a uniform. This looks like exactly like that. It's like it's the spoof Trek. It's an artist drew people in a Trek uniform. So I'm hoping that they'll actually use the universe. So they'll actually have an episode where they actually go to Kronos, for example. I mean, not or wherever. I mean, actually see familiar landmarks. We see familiar characters. We see familiar themes just from the context of a lower thing. There's not just funny for funny's sake. But we actually get the universe.
Apparently, it's going to be 45 minutes episodes.
Wow.
An hour long.
Damn.
That's what they're saying in the chat there. So.
I mean, that implies more of a real storyline.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Tom Zeros 48 puts in $5 Canadian. Thank you.
Thank you.
About the build in animation, we exaggerate features to give more character. An animated Worf would look similar. Yeah, I suppose. As far as the build goes for that Jordan guy he's talking about.
I mean, sure, but if it's got to be fitting in the universe as well, I mean, make it not canon, do whatever the hell you want. Make it canon and then, use some common sense as well.
Yeah.
It's like saying, this phaser rifle has to be twice as big because it adds more character. It's like, so now crossbows have to make a phaser rifle that's this big and they put it into a prop rifle rack that's now the size of a corridor. It's like, once you start doing these things, it escalates. It's like the Discovery ship's been too big. They've even said in their design process, they're like, well, once you do one thing, we had to design the Enterprise bigger than the Discovery, but the Discovery's too big. Oh damn, we got to upscale it. Like these problems filter down if you don't address them early on and have common sense. So,
And Dan23 says Lower Decks is a half-hour animated show about the same time as The Simpsons. Okay, I think that 45 thing was probably for the first episode, probably a two-parter, but like one episode kind of thing, maybe. I don't know. Lizzie Smith puts in £1.99.
Hey,
Thank you very much, Lizzie. Hope you're staying cool. She was complaining about the heat yesterday.
I'm trying.
Not my sort of thing, but I'm glad you're covering this. Yeah, I'm actually getting more ramped up now that we've actually started talking about it. I had kind of dismissed it when I first saw it released at San Diego Comic-Con and wasn't looking forward to this chat about it. But there's so many possibilities. Like we did one live quite a while ago talking about an animated Star Trek and what it would be like. And when we first heard the rumors about Lower Deck, and we came up with some pretty good stuff. So I'm getting kind of excited now.
This is why I like talking through stuff with you, because it's important, you know?
I know. You're like, Stuart, we need to talk about it. I don't want to. I'm tired. I don't like you. No, we want to talk about it. And then I get all excited, yeah.
Those were quotes, I don't like you. It was amazing how quickly that I don't like you came about. Even before I said
I
something.
didn't mean to say that. Did I say that?
I go on Skype, I don't like you. I'm like, what? Stuart, you went live. He's like, oh. I'm like, oh. True story.
True story. And Sirtis is right. More stuff can be done in animated. Yeah, that's one of the things that really was really great about the original animated series. The aliens were fantastic in that. Some very out there alien designs, which was really cool. So.
Yeah. I mean, the animated show gave us an animated alien crew member on the bridge. That's amazing. You know. Yeah. Rick and Morty is absurdly creative to the absolute extreme. I love it. So yeah, but I still want that grounded. You know, we haven't seen 7-armed aliens with tendrils in Star Trek uniforms. You know, doesn't mean we should. You know, there's also a little too far. You know.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
Did we want to do the IMDb thing right now?
Yes. Although, do you want to read Knight's Arms comment again?
Oh my goodness.
Not that far up.
Oh, how could I support you guys? I really do like the shows and breakdowns of things. I've seen a lot of your ship reviews and now the Captain's recent videos. Well, thank you. Yeah, there's lots of ways. It's all in the description down below of all videos. There's a Patreon link. You can help us on a monthly basis, even if it's $1 a month. $12 a year is a big help. Things like that. Or there's a PayPal. You can also head over to Trekyards at www.trekyards.com. Click the donate button. And, of course, Super Chats on here. If you have a YouTube account, which clearly you do, there's a little $sign thing. You can click that and send us a Super Chat. And that puts your comment or question in the different window, and we can see it. And, you know, it's separate, so it's easier for us to find and stuff like that. So lots of ways to help out the channel. The best way, of course, is just hit like, make sure you're subscribed, notified, and just share the videos around. That's the easy, free way to help us out. But yeah, lots of different ways. And
to note that YouTube takes 30% of the Super Chats, although that does go straight to us. But PayPal is what we use as a joint account that pays for trips and things. So that if you want to help things that we do, then that's a great way. If you want to actually help us keep the show going, then Super Chats are a great way. So it's kind of like, because we don't touch our PayPal, that's for business sort of stuff, and the Super Chats are actually for us to pay rent. So it's a, you know. So let me jump through the IMDb. The first one on IMDb, I don't know if that means he's primary, that's what it says, is Eugene Cordlow, who's Ensign Rutherford. And he is known for The Good Place, Wrecked, Steven Universe, Strange Angel, Archer. He was in Danger Island, the pilot. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend as Alex. The Earliest Show. He was in Ghostbusters as brass guitar. Yeah, he was in the new Ghostbusters, the 2016 one, as brass guitarist. Great. Nice. Rooster Teeth System Kratos as a waiter. That's okay. Other Space, Kroll Show, Parks and Recreation, Key and Peele as 3 different things. So there's a lot of comedy stuff. Silicon Valley, Drunk History, College Humor Originals as 6 episodes of extras. So yeah, this is a comedy guy. This is a comedy guy that has some comic timing. Yeah.
Before the next one though, we'll read the 2 super chats. We got Paul Sherrard. puts in $5 Canadian.
Thank you.
Says, happy Thursday, everyone. Well, happy Wednesday, because it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday, though. Maybe he's from the future, but he's in Canada.
Yes.
It is Wednesday, right? I'm not crazy.
Yes, it's Wednesday. I guess he's on Australia, maybe?
No, he's putting in Canadian money, so could be in Australia.
Also, Reneus Nisbet. Sorry. Love the discussion, guys, but I'm off to work later. Bye.
Bye. Have fun at work. Sean Pullen puts in $5 Canadian as well. How much you think they'll use B plots with bridge crew to fill working building gaps between Voyager and Picard? It's a distinct possibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am very... That's... Again, if the writing's good, it's always been the case, you know? Yeah, very possible, yeah.
There's going to be so many little Star Trek in-jokes in this, I think.
Oh, I hope so.
Just small little things.
Although I don't want it to be the spoof show where they make fun of Star Trek in Star Trek. You know? Oh, did you watch the Orion slave girl porn? Oh, I didn't. You know, it's like, you know, that's a joke of Star Trek, not a joke in Star Trek. You know?
Yeah.
There's that line. You know, I don't know.
Yeah, but I think there's going to be jokes like if it's episodic, which it's supposed to be, something major is going to be happening with the ship, and they'll be like, "Don't worry, next week everything will be fine. We'll totally forget this ever happened." You know, little things like that, like the cliches of Star Trek. As long as it's done properly, I think would be really funny. So, Dan23 keeps saying Lower Decks is set on Starfleet's lesser-known ships.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
we know.
that to read.
That's the first thing he said. So shall I swap to a different cast member then?
Yeah. Yes, I'm just going to read Jeff Jacobs first. Jeff Jacobs, $2. These actors all have comedy chops. Funny is likely. Exactly. So yes, next.
Tawny Newsom as Ensign Mariner. Batleth Lady. She's in Lower Decks, obviously. Brockmire, Ride or Die. The comedy Get Down. Also in Bajillion Dollar Properties, as the other guy was. Documentary Now. Comedy Big Bang, like the other guy was. 2 Broke Girls, 1 episode. Oh, actually a lot less. She's been on a ton less than the other person. The Carmichael Show, Pilot Season, Big Mouth. Do you want to see a dead body? So yeah, a lot less, and only started acting in 2013, so she is new.
Cool.
Okay. Next on the IMDb is... Got too many things. Jack Quaid. Who I sort of recognise. Let's see if I do actually recognise him.
Yeah. It looks kind of familiar.
The Boys. +1. Have you ever seen The Rain? The Tap. Logan Lucky. Middle-earth Show of War. Mountain Visits. Vinyl. Sasquatch Sketch Comedy. Sperm and Egg. Okay. Just Before I Go. After Lily. Hunger Games Catching Fire as Marvell. Topless Scene, a short, and the Hunger Games also. So his first credit was in Hunger Games as Marvell, but again, actually quite new as well. I mean, he's obviously younger. I mean, these are younger people. That's fair. But also pretty new as well. Only since 2012. New on the scene. So we've done Trekyards as long as he's been acting. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh.
And then
Damn.
Noel Wells. We've got the Probable Orion. Again, sort of familiar. Let's see. Craig of the Creek in all looks like 32 episodes. That's a last big thing. 2 episodes of American Dad. Master of None, 8 episodes. I've heard of that. Wander Over Yonder, 11 episodes. Gentleman Lobsters, 7 episodes. Dreamland, Bad Couple, Semi-Charmed Life, Comedy Bang Bang as well. 21 episodes of Saturday Night Live. Maybe that's where we saw her. Cold Tune Original, 8 episodes in 2 years. That might be where I saw her as well. And first thing, 2009. First real thing as a stripper in 2012 in the Doka Deca Pentathlon. So yeah.
Great.
Doesn't really help, I'll be honest.
No, does not.
But let's go right from the important ensign to the less important captain. Because that's what's happening in this show. Dawn Lewis. She was in Veronica Mars, 8 episodes. The Rich and the Ruthless. Carmen Sandiego. Bravest Warriors. iZombie. Mama Leone. Oh, okay. Sort of remember that. Major Crimes. Stitches. Rick and Morty as assimilated alien. Inside Out. Inside Out as additional voices.
Ooh.
Tim and Eric's Bedtime Stories. The Boondocks Castles, 1 episode. Toy Story of Horror. Days of Our Lives. Futurama. Ooh, Futurama. 13 episodes of Futurama as La Barbara Conrad. Tank. Juiced Up Butterfly Fighter. Gonna be honest, these don't ring bells. Who the hell's La Barbara Conrad? Oh, no, La Barbara's his, you've seen Futurama, right?
Yes.
How the hell? Yeah, she played the tax guy's, the Jamaican guy's wife.
Oh.
Only in 12 episodes. Jesus. I thought it was more than
Okay.
that.
Cool.
Wow. Okay. There you go. That's geek cred to me. But I guess you did go off with the Zambra instructor pretty quickly. So yeah. Aw, Hermes. Feel sad now. 3 Cleveland shows. 1 Tree Hill. Spider-Man 3 as additional voices. The Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy. X-Men Legends 2. Any Day Now. 10th Kingdom. Legends of Tarzan. Spider-Man the Animated Series as Detective Terry Lee. Incredible Hulk. Sliders. Dr. Natalie Stylus. Steve Harvey Show. So she's a she's a voice actor. Started in 1988. Cool. I know that a bit more then. Good. Can we get a super chat for Hermes and his wife? Come on, she left him for a reason because he's a bum. Super chat for that. Right. Jerry
Cut
O'Connell.
out there, so I didn't really hear what you said. So.
Sorry, Jerry O'Connell. He was in Billions, Drunk History, The Fuck It List, Carter, Justice League Action, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Mistress, Fresh Beat Band of Spices. You realize how much you don't know about anything when you read shit like this? It's like, what is going on? Don't know any of this stuff. Although, in the Justice League versus Teen Titans video, he played Superman. So he's played Superman once. That's cool. Infinite Crisis video game, played Shazam, another Marvel. Justice League Throne of Atlantis, playing Superman. Seeing a thing here. Veronica Mars, Burning Love, We Are Men. Scary Movie 5, important stuff there. The Defenders, G.I. Joe Renegade TV series. Spider-Man / Shazam, The Return of Black Adam, played Captain Marvel. Okay. And Carpoolers, Crossing Jordan, Las Vegas, Ugly Betty. Oh, cool. Justice League Unlimited, Captain Marvel as well. So a lot of Marvel stuff. And then eventually we get down to 69 episodes of Sliders in 1995.
And Stand By Me should be there too. I think he's in Stand By Me. But anyway.
Police Academy 5. What were we all thinking of him from? And then we got the Fred guy, who I thought was the voice actor. Let's see. American Dad. 25 episodes as Secret Service agent / police officer 2 / modelling advisor / biker shop guy / tow truck driver /
So a lot of parts, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
No main character.
He also, in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, the Black Order video game, he played Hank McCoy, Beast, Ghost Rider, and more. Guardians of the Galaxy TV series, he played Hulk, Son, and Gronk. I'm saying these words, guys. I'm saying these words. DuckTales, played several people.
Trek Reviewer says that Jack Quaid is the son of Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid. So he's like, next generation Hollywood royalty. So that's awesome. Dennis Bessig.
Hey, David
puts in
Bessig.
$15. David, sorry, what did I say? Dennis?
That's
Daniel. Dennis Quaid, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Whichever.
Anyway, David Bessig.
David!
$15. We'll start that over, yeah. I'm here. Sorry for the delay. I don't know how I feel about this Star Trek cartoon, but here is to hoping that at least it's funny at least. And thanks for your time today. Well, thank you for your super chat today. Much appreciated. Glad you could show up. It's been an interesting talk. A little bit more than I expected, actually. So that's good. Dale Stafford puts in $2, and there's the super chat for Hermie's wife.
Yeah.
There you go.
Jamaican Slim, says Dan23.
Yeah.
Oh, Lizzie Smith. Everyone's played Superman once, haha. I think I might even get the job when I left school. Oh. So you got so back on Fred, he was in Star Wars Resistance, the one I was not complaining about, but the animation style.
Yeah.
The Orville, Krill voice.
Oh, cool.
Voltron, Legendary Defender. You like Voltron, don't you?
I do.
You played. See if you know the character. Yulmore Cool contest host.
No.
Is that a famous character from Voltron?
Right? Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. In all one episode.
Lego Star Wars. He played Car Power, Stormtrooper Sergeant. This is just a guy who's cool in just random shit, isn't it? Always like he's in a building where he's doing one thing, and there's like 8 people saying, "Hey, can you quickly do a voice on our thing?" Because that's what they often do in voiceover work. Because there's just people, so you end up having like hundreds of things. He's Rhino in a Spider-Man game. He was also Beetle Guard Max Model in a Spider-Man game. Powerpuff Girls. I guess a reboot Powerpuff Girls. Okay. I'm gonna actually go through something I actually recognise rather than just saying everything. Robot Chicken. 15 episodes of that.
Nice.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. 12 episodes of that. Minecraft Story Mode. Power Rangers. 2017. The Angry Birds movie as Monty Pig. I mean, shit, man.
Eugene puts in 500 rubles and says,
Hey.
"For sliders and my second identity." It's supposed to be because it was like his first acting gig, one of them.
Sorry, Stuart, you cut out a bit there, Stuart. I'm sorry.
But I didn't, because the video didn't freeze at all.
But I did. I'm sorry. So do you want to read that again? It'd be good if you did. Thank you.
Eugene, 500 rubles for sliders and my second identity, but it's actually supposed to be my secret identity, which is what I remember Jerry O'Connell from the best. It's one of his younger roles, for sure. Please don't do that in the mic. That's really irritating.
Secret identity.
Yes. So, yeah. Thank you very much, Eugene.
So he was in Star Trek Into Darkness.
Why?
Additional voices.
Gotcha.
Star Trek Bridge Crew as an admiral. So he's actually already in 2 Star Trek things. And then
Nice,
Gillian Vigman, who's the other one who we both recognised. New Girl is Kim. That's how I know her. Lopez. Lots of TV movies. Film Selfie. Cougar Town. Californication. Hangover Part 2. The Defenders. Date Night. Aliens in the Attic. Hangover. Sons and Daughters. 40-Year-Old Virgin. Woman at Speed Dating. Mad TV. Oh, actually, wow, she has actually less credits than I thought. Huh. 75 credits. And the Fred guy has 736 credits as an actor.
That's it. Slacking.
And Jerry O'Connell, who's clearly been Superman a couple of times, has 119. And Gillian has only 79. So you can see how much the other guy's been in stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That's the cast.
Yay. I'm excited. ish. I'm more excited than I was going into this. That's for sure. I still think the animation style sucks, but the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm getting used to it.
It's one of those things. It's not good, but I think if the sets are well designed, if the props are well designed, the ship's well designed, and the story's good, their uniforms, their movements, who cares if everything else like feels good? Like if the bridge isn't too big, if it's not a bridge window, I mean that would be a good test. Are they going to have a bridge window or a proper view screen? You know, are they going to have the easy ticks where people are actually doing common sense, or are they going to make the easy mistakes of? Because if they make this canon, they can say, well, the TNG, the ship had a bridge window. Some ships did, and we're like, oh my god, you're raping canon. You're raping canon. You're totally raping canon. Why? For God's sake, stop outskirtsmen. Stop raping canon. Yeah.
And Robert Hayes says Billy West needs to do a voice. They couldn't afford Billy West.
Yeah.
They want to keep the costs low on this, so.
That's funny.
I'm sure you might make a guest appearance at some point, but yeah.
I mean, you can record all of your voiceover for a role in a day if it's something like this. So you pick your regulars and then, you know, and then you pick the bonus people for like 1 day shoot, you know. Yeah. So yeah, guys, I guess that's everything we've talked about. If you want to ask any final questions, we'll be here for 7 more minutes. Stop at the hour-and-a-half mark, which I think is pretty good, really. Any more subject questions? Any more subject comments? Tell us what you think. We'll any things you've seen, any things you've whatevered, and then we'll probably do one more live tomorrow about maybe Discovery, season 3 and potentials for that. Potentially, not a lot has come out, but we've got stuff to theorize about. Maybe.
I thought we weren't doing a live tomorrow. You said you couldn't film tomorrow.
That's right. Well, yeah, but in the day, it's not as hot during the evening. Yes.
Friday I can't do it.
Exactly.
But yeah.
It's
So we're not sure. Check tomorrow and see if we're doing a live. We probably will be.
It's gone down from 33 to 20 tonight, so you know it's not great, but it's manageable right now. God, it's weird to be 20 in the evening. 20 at 11:24. How garbage is that? You know.
It's garbage.
I know LA,
Actually, it hasn't been getting that cool here. It gets like 25 at night. So maybe 23.
I know. I know LA is like when we walk down LA, it's like it's warm in the evening, no jumpers, but then you walk in, it's like nice and toasty, as in cool toasty. Although, I'll put it out there, guys, if you at Star Trek Lower Decks would like to bring us on as voice actors, we will play many different roles. We have reasonably good microphones. I can definitely soundproof my room for you. Flights to Vancouver, whatever. We'll happily be part of the Star Trek universe in a more official way.
Now, do you have to be part of the Screen Actors Guild to do voiceover work? Because that might be a problem.
Well, yeah, also the fact that we're both foreigners. So crossing visa borders and all that shit. I'm just saying, if you want to try, talk to my agent, which is me.
Yeah. Hashtag petition to get us on Lower Decks as voice actors. There you go.
Because, I mean, that would be great to have a captain called Foley who has a ship which is way outdated. We won't give it up. He keeps going back to the shop. It's 200 years old. Yep. He keeps getting just like the paint. Just keep no, it's fine, guys. I don't want another ship. I'm happy. It's a Constitution class. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. And then you got a young commander who just does all the 3D work and his captain's like having tea, just chillaxing in the ready room.
Well, I want to address Trek Reviewer. He says, Trekyards Captain, have you ever seen the toys from Playmates Generations toy line? Yes, I have. If you guys watch Retro Blast, him at some point to talk about some Playmates Star Trek lines in the future. We're not sure yet, but there you go. And Andrew Maddox puts in $2. I think the lieutenant means Bajor has joined the feds. Looks like it might be the case. So that kind of gives you a time scale for sure.
I mean, there was Roe. You know, I can imagine that enough Bajorans left Bajor instead kind of just be part of the Federation.
And speaking of Lower Decks, the episode Lower Decks had a Bajoran ensign on the Enterprise.
Exactly.
She was the one that,
I mean, when we spoilers for the What We Leave Behind, the DS9 writers were very, very adamant that Bajor would not become part of the Federation. They would fight for independence strongly. And so if you take the actual DS9 writers who invented, well, they didn't invent Bajor, but they invented the situation, they would say no, because they get no say in the future of the show. So I don't care either way. I'll be honest, don't care. I don't think any race is excluded from being part of the Federation. Do you know why I think that, Stuart?
Why?
Because Saru is in Starfleet.
Yeah.
And you know, all those
that's
things.
That's a good precedent.
Yeah, and he was illegally got as well. So it really doesn't matter if someone asks and does the whole So
Raj Hussein says, Trekyards, thoughts on the new Picard trailer? We haven't been talking about that enough. We actually did a whole live on that, so it's just go back and watch that because we don't want to rehash all that now.
And we didn't film 3 episodes on it today and burn ourselves out, not at all. But I'll be honest, this is our content so far. If you'd like to hear live first reaction Picard trailer with Captain Foley 3 days ago, look at that. Or live second reaction Picard trailer with Captain Foley that same night. Or Star Trek Picard San Diego Comic Con trailer Commander Cockings first reaction 2 days ago. Or Star Trek Picard SDCC trailer breakdown / review 19-minute version 2 days ago. Or Star Trek Picard SDCC trailer full breakdown live 2 hours 50 minutes 1 day ago. Or Data is Back, Brent Spire and Star Trek Picard Trekyards analysis 1 day ago. Or the Borg are back. I'm going to finish. Or the Borg are back, Star Trek Picard analysis, a trailer analysis 1 day ago.
I wish I had a mute button.
Or 7 of 9 is back, Star Trek Picard trailer analysis 7 hours
He
ago.
said will do. He's going to go check them out.
Are coming. Star Trek Picard trailer 3 hours ago.
Raj said he will do. He'll do that. Please.
I'm just saying.
Lizzie Smith puts in £1.99. Hashtag Captain Commander on Lower Decks. I'm up for it.
Woo!
Yeah. Spread that around.
Yes.
And Loax831 puts in $2. I'm from Inglewood in LA. At night it gets to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, that's horrifying. That must be like almost boiling your blood. You know, because 100 is like boiling.
I'll convert it. It's 21.1111 Celsius.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful.
So it's slightly warmer than here right now.
I'm not sure I understand.
Shut the hell up, Siri.
Yeah. Although someone mentioned it. Oh yes. My next Star Trek Online character, I'll have Captain and Commander names after you guys. Oh Jesus. What ships do you guys like? Oh dear. But his comment spawned me to think maybe we should try and go Star Trek Online, see if we can build these uniforms in Star Trek Online. I wonder if you can.
Badoom. I think you did something close for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Be interesting if they're going to include stuff from this and Picard in Star Trek Online, and you know how that's all going to play out in the years to come.
Well, the way they worked out Discovery stuff is just completely separate. You can only see Klingons, the Discovery Klingons, in a Klingon mission of a Discovery mission, so they kept it, separate. But this is the problem. Anything future with Star Trek Online, they have to sort of say alternate timeline stuff or whatever for them, because they have their own alternate timeline of non-canon.
Robert Hayes says, what about an analysis for the new Trek or Discovery pictures? There's like 4 or 5 of them that I've seen, and they look really boring. They're on a beach. They're in Greenland or Iceland or so not much to talk about. We're thinking that while we're in Vegas, we're going to get a trailer for season 3 or more information. So hopefully that'll be included there. So
I think we're going to see a Lower Decks something like a scene or clip. We'll see a logo for logo for the other animated series with maybe one image, like a poster, and then we'll see like a Discovery teaser trailer, because they won't have a full trailer because they haven't filmed a lot of it yet.
Gmon78 puts in £2 and says there should be hashtag there should be a law against hashtag saying hashtag there should be a law.
Stuart, why are you saying hashtag? Hashtag isn't even a real word. Is it in the hashtag dictionary?
You know what? It's a thing. Knight's Arm, Captain Foley and Commander of and commander of the USS Kitano. I don't know what ship yet. Kitano, that's interesting.
Well, Stuart only likes cannon ships. So sticking with a cannon ship is a fair bet. Though he does like the.
What do you mean I only like cannon ships? I like a lot of faster ships and Starfleet
No,
battleships.
in stow. You only fly the cannon ships. Like if you were in stow picking a ship, you'd only pick a cannon ship. That's what I mean.
No, there's a lot that I want to get, but I have to either buy them or whatever, and because I want the Manticore and all that.
That's the one, Manticore. That's his puppy.
Yeah.
Lizzie Smith says Star Trek Online really does handle the canon well. They excel at that. Yes, well, they're actually old-time Trek fans that actually care about the old Trek canon and make it all connect. Actually creative and talented, unlike other teams. So yeah, guys, we got a few more super chats. So thank you, everyone. I think it's probably us done. We hit 210-ish people, didn't we? I think at max.
We did, yes.
Which is pretty good. And I was wondering how many would, because there's a whole new topic. Well, I think this was quite a positive stream. I think we turned a Stuart negative into quite a positive, I think.
A resounding, I want to check it out. Not that I had a choice. I had to do it regardless. But now at least I'm kind of interested that it could be good. So.
Yeah.
And Clark Stark is right. Captain Foley only likes Excelsior class vessels. Give me an Excelsior any day. Badoom boom. And then Nate Kornoff at Trekyards. Are you guys going to have a meetup in Vegas by chance? I've heard that a few YouTubers are heading there for the convention. Yeah, there are a few YouTubers going. There'll be a YouTube contingent for sure. I don't know if we're doing a meetup. We'll meet and greet people, and then depending if I don't know, we'll figure something out. Like I said, stay tuned to the YouTube channel and the Facebook for anything like that.
If YouTube worked properly, and if we post a video, it actually went to all 50,000 of our subscribers, and if we could Facebook blast to all people groups saying, if you're at Vegas, meet us here then, I guarantee we get a lot of people meeting up. But the fact is, we post something, people won't see it there at the event. It's kind of tricky to organise something unless you have, like, you know, really, really tapped in fans that are really going to check. But we'll see a ton of people we know, and they'll know us. So we'll sort of talk about, maybe we'll do we can say to each person, oh, we want to do a meetup on Friday. You know, check the Facebook group and we'll post a video. You know, check on Friday for a video, and we'll put the details then. You know, that sort of thing. I think is sensible at least.
And Lizzie Smith puts in £1.99 to close us out. She says #Gmon78 hashtag sticky out tonguey face person.
#win.
Hashtag thank you for watching.
And I'm #Commander Cockings.
And I'm Captain Foley.
And I will press the turn off button.
And bye everybody.
We love you.
Yes we do.
Bye.